Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is a collection video of the various pressed and loosed powders that I have. Now they do range from setting powders to blushes to highlighters to bronzers. So it's a little bit of everything. I was thinking of doing just a separate video for the pressed powders and the blushes and the loose, but I just decided, you know what, we're just going to do one big whole collection video. So let's go ahead and get started. First off is the Too Faced Papa Don't Peach Infused Blush. I really adore this stuff. I've been wanting to try coral or orange based, maybe peach based blushes. My own cheeks are naturally a bit red, so I usually try to tone that down and add something else a little different to it. Now, something that I haven't done for previous videos is actually opening up the products. So I've already dipped into it just a little bit, and as always, the peach scent is just amazing. I absolutely love it. So we have Too Faced Papa Don't Peach Infused Blush. There's a little bit of shimmer to this, so you could almost use it as a highlighter if you really wanted to. So yay! And you see how the purple goes back to normal? That's such a weird thing with the orange. You've got, and I did this with my Jane hat too. So you see regular orange, you bring in, regular purple rather, the purple that has, you know, the red tones and such to it, and then you bring in the orange, and the color changes. How weird and cool is that? Oh my god, I love science. Okay, next up, this is from Circa. Circa is a Walgreens exclusive brand. It is based out of Los Angeles, out of Hollywood. And the creative director of Circa is Ava Mendes. She wanted to have products that were considered luxury products. However, she wanted them at drugstore prices. So this is the FaceTime pressed powder in Fair. This is actually a repurchase, though it's been a while since I've actually dug into it. I do use it, but not as often as I thought I was going to, but it is a repurchase item. So I do think it is, what's the word? I do think it is worthy of repurchasing. So give it a shot. It can work as a pressed powder, as a setting powder, and so on and so forth, so you're pretty good. Okay, this is an oldish one, kind of. I got this in an Ipsy bag a while back, one of my first Ipsy bags actually, and this is by the brand Pixie. It is the Pixie Beauty Blush Duo in Rose Gold. As you can see, I've used quite a bit of it already. I've hit pan on the highlighter side, not quite so much on the blush side, but I'm sure it will get there eventually. This is the Ulta Mineral Setting Powder. It is a loose powder, and it is in the shade, it doesn't tell me what the shade is. So if it's just a mineral setting powder, it probably means that it is translucent. So I do like this one just because it's not as grainy as, say, the Tarte Smooth Operator powder is. So I like those. I like this kind of formula much better than that. Next up, this is a repurchase. This is the NYX Mineral Set It and Don't Fret It Matte Finishing Powder. I'll use this to bake and set my under eye. This is in the shade Light Medium, so it's MFP 01, and it's $5.99 for this one, and the consistency is very similar, I think, to the Coty Airspun loose setting powder. I prefer this one over that one for a few reasons. One, even though NYX is owned by L'Oreal, NYX does not test on animals, which is fantastic. Coty does. Now, another one is, this one doesn't have a scent to it. But if you've used the Coty Airspun powder, it's got a nasty, nasty, nasty scent to it. It's kind of, not a huge fan. So that's another reason why I prefer this one over the Coty. Now, if this product was in the same size container as the Coty Airspun, then we'd really be talking, because this little guy costs, I believe, $5.99, and you get 8 grams product. The Coty Airspun, on average, you're gonna find it to be $7.99, and the packaging is much larger. I'll try and post a photo of it around here somewhere so that you can see just how much of a difference in size there is. So yeah, you may end up getting more product for your money getting the Coty, but if you want to stick with if you want to do the cruelty-free cosmetics, discontinuing purchasing that product is a good start. Okay, here we go. This is from Wet n Wild. This is the Wet n Wild Color Icon Bronzer SPF 15. This is in the shade Reserve Your Cabana 743A, and this is actually this is a repurchase from them. I've hit pan on it already, and actually it is super duper light. Like I don't think it should even be considered a bronzer because of how light it is. There's a little bit of shimmer to it, not a whole lot. Really, if anything, I mean, you could use it as a highlighter if you wanted to, or if you use a super duper light hand, you could probably use it as an all-over face powder to set all of your makeup. So that would be neat. That'd be a good way of using it. Oh my goodness, coffee is a wonderful thing. Okay, so yeah, none of this is in any particular order. That's just how they happen to be set out. Okay, this is IT Cosmetics Hello Light Anti-Aging Radiance Powder Luminizer in Radiance. Alright, so we will see. Okay, I'll go ahead and crack this guy open too. Okay, so I've definitely used some already, but I haven't quite yet hit pan, which is nice because I didn't realize just how much I would really, really enjoy highlighters until I started using them. And sometimes I feel like a bit of... Sometimes I think it's Nikki Tutorials is a bit of an influence in that respect, because I like to have my face glow. Just glow, glow, glow. And I will use the crap out of pretty much any highlighter that I have. So this is from IT Cosmetics. It's the Hello Light Anti-Aging Radiance Powder Luminizer in Radiance. Next up, okay, I did a video, maybe, oh gosh, I don't remember. But this is a mini Becca highlighter in the shade Opal. I got this as a set, actually. There was a liquid one that came with that I use use on the top of my foundation. So it doesn't look like I've used it much, but I promise you that I have. The Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector in the pressed powder form. Again, it's in the shade Opal, and it's beautiful. And last I checked, all of the brands that I am listing are cruelty-free. Their parent company may not be, but they are. The only one I'm not quite certain about is the Ulta brand. I think they are. I'm not entirely positive. So next up, oh dear. Next up is the Ulta Double Duty Wet Dry Pressed Powder Foundation. Now this is in the shade Warm Tan. So since it's obviously too dark, it comes with a little itty bitty mirror too, but not that I use it. This one sat in my makeup drawer for a long time, trying to figure out how in the world I'm going to use this, and then I realized, you know, it's a good contour shade for me. So as you can see, I've already hit pan on it. Not sure if I'm going to repurchase it once it's all gone, but there we have it. So pan progress. Well, not really pan progress because I really don't keep track of everything I hit pan on, but when I see pan, it kind of makes me really, really excited. So there's that. So I use this for contouring and maybe a little bit of bronzing, but mostly contouring. Next up is another product from Circa. This is the, what do they call this one? They call this one the Picture Perfect Powder Bronzer. This is in the shade Champagne Beach. When I work at the drugstore, this is the one that I tend to use most often. This was another repurchase of that brand. And again, I've hit pan on it. I've hit pan on a lot of my face powder products, and I wonder when my eyeshadow palettes will get to that point. Maybe one day? Maybe? We will see. So yeah, I like the packaging on the Circa products. I will eventually do a video on nothing but the Circa products that I have, because I feel that they need their own video. And one day I will do that. One day I'll do a video of, you know, all of my Too Faced products, all of my Color Prevails products, all of my e.l.f. products, and so on and so forth. So here we are. The Too Faced Chocolate Soleil Matte Bronzer in Medium Deep. This product is the very first high-end product I ever purchased. I bought this at Ulta back in May of last year, in May of 2016, and I haven't repurchased it yet, believe it or not. And look at that. I still have some left. You may or may not, oh no, you can't even see the rings of the pan. You know how you can see it through, you know, the rings of a pan through the product? Which you're probably going to see on that Becca highlighter here soon. This stuff lasts forever. I love it. The scent is wonderful. And it was my first introduction to the Too Faced brand. And it's probably one of my favorite high-end brands that I have ever come across. I really love it. And not just because their stuff smells amazing, but I like the quality a lot. So, there we go. Alright, so we'll put that one over here. This is the Tarte Smooth Operator Loose Setting Powder. It's Amazonian Clay Finishing Powder. Now, I do need to use this one up. It's just I don't find myself reaching for it very often. I did receive this in I think it was like my first or second Ipsy bag. So, yeah. But it's a little mini. Great for travel and all that other stuff. I just don't like the consistency of this one. But I need to use it up, and even though it's kind of small, it does take up room in that makeup drawer. So, yeah. If there was, if they had another setting powder that was similar consistency to, say, the NYX Set It and Don't Fret It powder, I'd be all over it. I think Bare Minerals has one that I may try at another time, but there is that. Next up is this. we all know what this packaging is. This is the Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector in the pressed powder form. I think that's the wrong way to open it. And it is in the shade Opal. Now, for a long time, this was the only high-end highlighter that I had. And you can see the rings of the pan. So I'll be hitting pan on this sucker soon. And then once I hit pan, it'll only be a matter of time before I don't have any more left. So this is my very first highlighter, or my first higher end highlighter. It's the Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector in Pearl. Did I say Opal before? No, Opal was the other one. That one's Pearl. Next up, we're going to do all three of these together. Okay, now we all know that last year Wet n Wild released these amazing Mega Glow highlighting powders in 2 shades, Crown of My Canopy and Precious Metals. Yeah, I was actually there the day that the display went up, so I grabbed them both. I also grabbed 1 or 2 of the highlighting sticks, and I ended up giving those away to a family member just because I just didn't use them. But yeah, as you can see through the packaging, through the little window, I've already hit pan on these babies, which is kind of funny. Now this one, this is the Crown of My Canopy. This looks like it has more peach tones in it, which would explain why I can see more of that pan than I can of this one, which is Precious Petals. Precious Petals has more of a pink tone to it. Still a really pretty highlighter, and I will still use the crap out of it. But with this one having more peachy tones, and I saw this one at the store on clearance, so I had to get it. So that stuff is amazing. My final 2 face powder products. This is a long video. Thank you so much for sticking with me. It's from e.l.f. It's the blush palette in light and the illuminating palette. Okay. I really enjoy the blush palette. So yeah, I really enjoy the blush palette. I use this shade here, this orangey looking shade. I actually use that over the top of my bronzer, just to add a little bit more dimension to it. And then I usually just go in with this powder over top. I really don't mess with these two, mostly because, they're pink, and I'm trying to stay away from the pinks and the reds on my face. This is the highlighter palette. I think the formula between the two is actually very, very different, because whenever I go into this palette, no matter which brush I'm using, it kicks up a lot of powder and you can smell the talc. So I use it every now and again, and I do need to get it used up. So hopefully I will have that whole project pan thing going on with the illuminating powder. So there y'all have it. And yeah, so that concludes my face powder collection, my face product collection. I will link everything below. So there you are. Thanks for sticking with me. This video is going to be ridiculously long. I didn't realize it was going to be that long. Everything will be linked below. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, as well as the little bell at the bottom, so that you can know when I upload new stuff. Open up the description box. It'll have everything that you would want to know about things and stuff. And yeah, so thanks again for sticking with me through almost 20 minutes, and I will see you next time.